is known for its passionate fans. People across the UK follow their teams through thick and thin, with their support never wavering. However, recent changes in pricing have seen many left out in the cold. Many fans have been forced to pick up the TV remote and watch their supported clubs from home. What happens when the cost of attending the world's most popular sport becomes too expensive for the fans who built it? Since 1990, prices for tickets have risen by 800%. 19 of the 20 Premier League clubs raised their ticket prices for the 2024 to 2025 season.
The main reason why ticket prices are going up, and we have seen pushback. Liverpool have frozen their season ticket prices. We've just seen the U-turn at City, which is great news. I think Spurs have frozen theirs as well. Clubs get money from three sources. They get it from the TV deal. Well, the value of the domestic TV deal is flatlining, so there's no more money coming in there. They get it from sponsors. It's difficult to extract much more money out of sponsors, and they get it from match day. But the costs of running clubs have certainly gone up. You've had the costs of Brexit, you've had the cost of Ukraine war, you've had the costs of the pandemic, all of which have put up overheads and running costs. You've got an increase in national insurance coming through. All of this has implications for clubs. So if you're losing £10 million a year, you're now losing 20 or 30, and that potentially could result in some clubs breaching FFP stroke PSR. Clubs are certainly trying to justify ticket prices due to PSR, but given that they created PSR themselves, actually it's just a convenient excuse.
I travelled down to Manchester in order to see the perspective of Manchester City fans on rising ticket prices and the club's neglection of supporter concerns. Fan groups such as the 1894 Trade Union Blues and the MCFC Food Bank Support organised a protest outside the ground, which was well supported by the City fans.
My name's Nick Clark. I'm a co-founder of the Manchester City Fans Food Bank Support. It's a massive movement, and it shows that football supporters can do a lot of good. We obviously are there to support our local community, no matter who they support. One of the taglines of fan supporting food banks is "Hunger doesn't wear club colours." We have done 107 collections across men's and women's home games. We've collected well over 10 tons of food that has been handed directly to us, and the sum total of the amount of meals that we've been able to help the food bank we collect for, Manchester Central Food Bank. They're the biggest food bank in the Manchester region. It's equated to well over, I think, 27,000 meals provided to people struggling.
The fans gathered outside the ground in order to protest against ticketing issues, as well as a club partnership with 9 ticket touting sites.
The reason that we have got involved in ticketing issues and other related supporters issues over the past few years is because we also see City fans as our community. My family brought up in the shadow of Main Road Stadium, been going to City since before I even knew what City was. I'm one of them ones that I don't remember my first game because my dad was taking me before I even had a clue what football was. One of the members of our feedback group did say, I think maybe doing a boycott, like a concourse boycott from kickoff, maybe that's a good idea. So I then put that into I put that out there to the other guys that we speak to, and it was after discussing stuff like that it was like, well, 9 minutes makes absolute sense. It's 9 because we have 9 official ticket reselling partners, which is just an absolutely crazy number.
Fans protested their concerns outside the stadium, but would spend 9 minutes inside the concourse before going to their seats.
We're having issues with ticket pricing in general. City fans have faced over a decade of ticket increases. That's in season tickets, but also matchday tickets. These matchday prices that we're seeing are absolutely mental. I didn't even realise really how bad they were until this year. We've got Aston Villa coming up, and the cheapest adults ticket you can buy for that is £71. If you want a kids ticket, £43. And to even buy those tickets, you'll have had to already pay a £35 membership anyway, just so you can have the privilege of buying a ticket. So you're talking 200 quid when it comes to, invite for a parent to bring 2 kids or something like that. It's just absolutely Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It was wall to wall blues, from the away divide all the way down the length of the South Stand, filling up the bar behind us. Um, I've never seen it. It doesn't look like that at half time, does it? Um, it felt like being in the concourse on an away end, when everyone's cramped in a tiny little concourse somewhere in the country and trying to get a beer or whatever. It was absolutely rammed, and songs were being sung all the way through, not just City songs. You had people singing "We Want Our City Back," and obviously that's not to do with, the terrible performances we used to have a few years ago, a couple of decades ago. It was about that again, that sense of community, that sense of belonging, and that our club is there for us and cares for us, which I don't think I think all these decisions I've said this year and recent years about ticketing, disabled parking charges, and stuff like that. Um, I think those decisions have created a disconnect between the fans and the club. So that felt like, I mean, even when the fans came in at the end after the 9 minutes, everyone was singing. It felt like one of the better atmospheres we've had all season.
Although there is a huge rivalry between fan bases, fan groups are able to recognise that this is a global issue and have helped support each other throughout the season.
My name's Chris. I'm a secretary of Trade Union Blues, and stems really from my work in Unite. So I'm a member of Unite, and my branch covers the service industries. So within that, we have workers in leisure and hospitality, including some members of football teams. And historically, we were kind of a group of us who were in unions who used to go watch City together. And I think we kind of mentioned about doing something, setting up something at some point around City. But the big one for me, I think, came when Radcliffe took over at United and he started basically going for all the workers there. And we thought, like, now is the time because that kind of thing needs to be pushed back against.
On the other side of Manchester, there is also a growing unrest amongst supporters. Manchester United recently raised ticket prices to £66 and removed concession prices for the rest of the season. Those tickets previously started at £40 for adults and £25 for children. Although fans have called for a widespread price freeze for next season, the club have announced that season ticket prices will increase by about 5% for the third successive year. There is a hope between fan groups that demonstrations that have taken place have made their voices heard, and supporters hope that prices will not see another increase next season.
Imagine what the response might be when it's a reactive protest, not a proactive one. We essentially did that protest to let our voices be heard, give the club no discussion over whether City fans feel that what they're doing is right or not. If they increase prices, who knows? There will be more of this for 100%. There'll be more stuff like this, because people then feel angry that they've not been listened to after having took part. Imagine all those thousands of people who've done that, and then the club gives them nothing back. They'll feel cheated. I think it's something that Manchester City, as a football club, and the decision makers would be really, really daft to ignore. The strength of feeling.
It sent a very clear message, and the idea of having fans not being there is what we're saying. We're the loyal fans. We're the ones who get behind the team, who give up a lot in our lives in terms of finances, in terms of time to go and watch the club that we love. And it's about time that you start treating us with a bit more respect, I think. We're trade unionists. Trade unions are the mass organisations of the working class in Britain. And we also believe that football is the sport of the working class. So we want to fight to defend it so that, we see all the cost of living stuff that people are being priced out of everything. It shouldn't be that way. We need to change things. And this is kind of one other area where I think we have to take that fight too, really.
Everton Football Club are moving from Goodison Park to Bramley-Moore Dock next season. the club have announced a 15.3% increase on the cheapest available ticket. As displayed on the screen, there has been an increase to the cheapest season ticket for every age band as the fans head towards life in a new stadium.
I mean, it's already quite pricey, so I'm sure it's only going to get more expensive like everything else. So, I mean, you know, I'd love to get a season ticket, but there's a long waiting list and I'm not very high up it. So it's just a question of saving up and coming when I can. My two boys are Evertonians, so if we all come, it's a very expensive day, travelling from Bristol as well, all that entails. But it's worth it. You don't get the feeling you get here anywhere else. So it's worth the effort and the money. It's supply and demand in the end, isn't it? You know, they fill Goodison pretty much every week, and all indications are they'll fill the new place as well. So yeah, it's a harsh reality of life. If you can afford it, lucky you. But I mean, certainly for people like me, it's going to mean having to really pick and choose which games we try and come to, and like I say, making it a real event when we do.
Prices going up isn't great. Obviously, I've been paying about 300, 400 quid for 8 years, but it was going to happen. Bigger stadium. It always happens. It's going to be a lot harder for a fan to get a ticket to the games now, with them being so expensive, because your average Everton fan from the city of Liverpool, not very known for their rich lifestyle. So obviously, a £700 ticket's a lot of money for him to spend just to watch Everton play football.
The game of football means a lot to many people across the globe.
Yeah, these people don't care about you as fans. And if they don't care, then they don't care about you because you are replaceable. Then that hardcore will go.
Soul of the game lives in the stands, but how long can it survive the price?